Human trafficking is a huge issue in this country.
It sure is. And do you know the signs for help?
And this is Chick to Chick.
If you saw our podcast last week, you saw that we are talking about a big problem in this country. The problem is human trafficking. People don't realize it's going on, but it is. It's happening in our own backyard. This is big business in this country. We talked about a $10 billion
sickening
business, and these traffickers are mostly targeting children. Now, anyone can be a victim, but they are really going after vulnerable children who are coming from broken homes.
And that is why it is so important that we talk about the other side. That is the signs. And there are actually signs for help. So joining us today, they're both with the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission. We have Renee Colburn and we have Karen Muro. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
The Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission has decided to launch this big campaign about human trafficking to raise awareness. Karen, why is the Turnpike Commission doing this?
Well, Flora, thank you so much for asking that. When we think about, what we do as a business, we are a transportation industry where when we think about human trafficking, the number one way that individuals are transported are through rail, plane, flying, roadway. And that's what we do. We are a very safe, reliable toll road system that we have in place, but we want to keep it safer. And we want to make sure that people are aware as to what could be going on in our own backyards. When we think about human trafficking, it's a world global problem that literally is happening in our own backyards. Nobody wants to talk about it. In the elementary schools, we talk about the DARE program. We talk about stranger danger. Why wouldn't we want to talk about this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as a mother, I know I was always trying to tell my children to be aware of their surroundings in other ways without scaring them. But I think having something like you have a campaign, and why are you doing the campaign?
The campaign primarily, we want to just help spread awareness. We would like people to become more aware of the signs, what to look for, and what you could do should you suspect someone that could be trafficked or in any type of danger. We can learn ways to know the hand signals. Just if you're riding down the roadway, what do the signs mean that we have? What does the hand signal look like? And we're going to talk about that in a few moments. But, a little bit about who we are. We, as the Turnpike, we do a lot for our communities. And we have a CEO intern program that comes every year. They are college graduates that are looking to work through an internship program. And their project in 2021 was the Human Trafficking Awareness Campaign, where we were able to launch that entire campaign to help us bring awareness to not just our own employees, but to everyone who gets on the Turnpike system, whether you're driving, whether you're stopping in a service plaza area, just to be safe and to be mindful so we can help make sure that everybody enjoys the day and gets to go back home at the end of every day.
So we know that human trafficking is a problem, and the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission is taking this very seriously. Renee, what is the Turnpike Commission doing all along the Turnpike to raise awareness?
We have right now 84 road signs in our emergency pull-off areas along the entire Turnpike. The signs tell you to call star 11 if you think that you see human trafficking occurring along the Turnpike. And we also have that information in our service plazas in the form of window clings in the windows of the bathrooms at the service plazas. Dialing star 11 gets you a Turnpike operator immediately. Whether your problem might be breaking down on the roadway or you see an accident, and even the human trafficking problem. If you see something, say something. So you dial star 11, that'll get you the operator. He takes down all of your information. You try to get as much information as possible, whether it's the make and model of a car, the color of the car, the license plate, a description of the child or the person you think may be trafficked. So you give that information to our Turnpike operator, and they pass it along to the state police, and the state police handle it from there. So that's just a couple initiatives. We also have rack cards in the service plazas. Rack cards are informational cards that are along in each service plaza in these racks that you see, and they're free. You can just take them and it has all the information, including the hand signal that we have learned is this. If you see a person or a child doing this, it's a sign that they're being trafficked. And that's when you want to call star 11.
You know, as a mom, I really had no idea.
No,
I
didn't
had
either.
zero clue that if a child was doing this in the backseat of a car or in a restroom or whatever, I'm sure they're intimidated and don't want to speak, or they're afraid of what might happen to them. So one more time, let's do this one more time. Show us the hand signal. So your palm is out, the thumb goes in, and the fingers come down. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I'll have you know that my daughters did know this.
Are they teaching this at school?
I don't even know. I don't remember if I asked them, but I said, do you know what this means? And they actually all knew.
They did.
Yeah.
So, and these signs then that you have up at the rest stops and in the bathroom also have this hand signal in there to let people know that if they see that, then to do something about it.
Right. The road signs tell you to call star 11, and the hand signals are in the informational rack cards and in the bathrooms on the window clings. So exactly, we want to make more people aware that this is a problem. I mean, the more people who know about it, and it's wonderful that your daughter knew that, because now we know people are being educated, and that's what our main goal is, to educate people and make them more aware of this problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I was shocked and embarrassed that I hadn't been the one to teach them, but I was glad somewhere they learned about it. Now, talk to us about a heat map. What is the heat map showing?
What the heat map is showing is basically an indicator to let us know where the hotspots of human trafficking seem to be occurring within the United States. And when you look at that heat map, you will notice that the western region of the United States, as well as the eastern region of the United States, are quite hot by color. Red meaning there's a lot of incidents that are taking place. From all the way up and down the I-95 corridor, from New Hampshire all the way down to Florida, you will notice certain areas. And that heat map is huge. But if you look at the state of Pennsylvania and look where that heat map is, throughout the entire system of the eastern coast, we are very honored to know that the Pennsylvania Turnpike does ride through, from all the way up through the northeast extension through Clark Summit area, all the way down to the Pennsylvania, New Jersey line and out to the Ohio line. So we have the opportunity by utilizing the Turnpike to raise that continual awareness for that heat map, to make sure people are aware this truly is happening in our backyard. When we think about our CEO interns, and when they looked at us and said, where does this happen? And one of them realized that there was a human trafficking representation just in their own backyard in the city of Harrisburg. The city of Pittsburgh has situations, as well as Philadelphia. So it is happening everywhere. It is often thought of as a third world country situation. It is not. It is throughout the entire world.
And I want to pose this question to both of you. And again, you got to educate us. You're telling us what is the hand sign for help. How do I know if someone is a victim of human trafficking? What are some of the signs that we should be looking for to say, hey, this child's in trouble, this teen's in trouble, this young adult is in trouble? Yeah. What should we look for?
Those behaviors, yeah.
Great question to ask, because I think the important part about this information is, what should I look for? Yeah. If you approach maybe another vehicle or an incident along the roadway, or maybe in your local community, at the grocery store or the mall, does a person appear to be fearful about something or anxious or depressed? Maybe they're not really giving you the direct eye contact that you think that they could be. Are they deferring to someone else to speak for them? Maybe a question might be asked and somebody else steps in front of them to provide that answer. Or do they show signs of abuse or even branded tattooing? They appear disoriented. So it's important for us to understand, if you see that or recognize that, say something, as Renee said, because what we want to do, if you suspect human trafficking, you think to yourself, should I get involved? And the answer is yes, you should. Remain calm. If you are along the Pennsylvania Turnpike and you dial star 11, as Renee shared, that'll take you directly into our operations center. But if you are off the Pennsylvania Turnpike and you're anywhere in the United States, dial 911. Share the location, share the vehicle, any details you could find, take a picture, and think to yourself, at the end of the day, the goal that what we want to do is to just bring them home. We want everyone to get involved in the training. We want our teachers to know what to do, our healthcare workers to know what to look for, be able to share the knowledge that we can with our communities. And that's what we can do. When you can look for things, make the call. I want you to understand, if you see something, say something. I'd rather you say something and be wrong than to not say something and miss an opportunity to bring someone home.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This was tremendous information. Thank you both so very much for being with us today.
It was another podcast where we're getting a great education.
I know.
And, this is kind of ironic because recently I was traveling and I was going through the Atlanta airport, and all of a sudden this announcement comes over the speaker and it says, have you witnessed human trafficking? If you see something, say something. It came over the loudspeaker in the Atlanta airport. So I think there is a big push to get the message out and to raise awareness that, as Karen pointed out, this is not a problem that's just happening in third world countries. It's happening in our own backyard, and the only way we can put a stop to it is if we raise awareness and educate people. And again, the sign for help. If you see this, that means that's the sign for help.
Say something. We thank you so much for being with us today. We hope you'll come back when we are chirping about another topic.